Alright, welcome to this beginner's episode of Bob Villa, how to install exterior shutters. Thanks for joining. You save yourself a lot of money, you don't need a professional to do them. I believe you could do it yourself because you are a talented mojo, alright? You have it in you. It's pretty simple, and we're going to take a look at how simple it is to actually put these in. So here's one we've installed already. It's black. It's vinyl. I didn't get the wood ones because I'm just doing it for looks. It's not actually serving any functional purpose except for the beautiful aesthetics. This is a raised panel. As you can see, it's just two panels as opposed to the slatted ones that are also really common. I chose the raised panel because it's easier to clean. I think the ones that have a lot of slates get dusty and dirty, and birds will fly up in there, and I kind of like the look of these too. So the first step is to take the shutter out, get yourself a pencil, and mark where you're going to drill your holes. When you're working with a 55-inch shutter like this, you're going to need 3 holes on each side. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when drilling into brick, you want to make sure you're actually drilling into the brick and not the mortar. So when I mark these holes, I'm making sure they're aligned pretty much in the center of the brick. I'm just eyeballing it, but for sure not in the mortar joints between the bricks. So this is where it's nice to have a helper. My helper is filming, he's a videographer, so I'm gonna try to do this solo this time, but you know, line it up to the top of the window frame. Oh, thank you. Hair and makeup too, man, that's pretty good. I like to go flush up with the brick here. I'm just eyeballing it, you know, right like this. And now to mark it, you know, here's a brick, so I'll come right about in the center and make my mark. Same on this side. See the brick there, go right about there. And now we'll drill these marked holes at 3/8 of an inch. So we got our 3/8 inch drill bit here, and we'll make our initial holes. Nice and easy. Okay. So next we're going to hold this up on the brick and mark with a pen the actual brick to make the next holes. So again, this is where it's nice to have a buddy to help with, but my buddy is filming. So that's fair. Get someone to hold this on, line it up just right. I think that looks pretty good. How's that look to you, Mitch?
Top looks good, metal's good.
Yeah.
Bottom is fairly good, yep.
All right. So I'm just using a regular pen. A Sharpie wouldn't really fit in these 3/8 holes, so I'm gonna try to go as straight as I can and don't let anything budge as you're doing this, of course. Otherwise it'll throw it all off. Okay. And we just got enough of a mark, you know, you don't need too much. There's one. There's one. And I can see the other ones as well, so. And the classic rock is essential, as always, for any home construction project. Okay, now for the most enjoyable part of doing any sort of work with brick is drilling into it. This is a hammer drill, which my buddy Mitch has brought over, and it has made the project much more enjoyable to do. I spent a couple of days with a cheaper drill, the cheaper electric one with not enough power, with my dad's old one from like the 50s. I bought some cheap drill bits. It was a big mess and it was taking forever. But finally, we got the concoction just right. We have this awesome heavy-duty DeWalt drill with a handle here for, you know, extra leverage. We got a quality mortar drill bit. What kind is it?
Masonry bit.
It's a masonry bit. And who's the make?
Right here.
Yeah.
Bosch.
Bosch. Like I said, I bought a cheap-ass one, and it worked great for one drill, and then it was dead. I went back to Lowe's, and she was like, well, your problem is that you're cheap. So I'm trying not to be so cheap now. This one was $4 for a single one, and I bought a couple of them just because I'm doing a ton of drilling here. And it's working wonderfully. It's the combination of a good Bosch drill bit for masonry and this awesome drill is making it actually fun to do now. So let's drill. Okay, so I got our mark here. There's one. I learned today that this is like a measuring rod. I want to go 2 inches in and no more because it takes so much effort. So this is measured, this is basically like, will catch you at 2 inches. This is adjustable, so I know when this hits the surface that I'm 2 inches deep on the drill bit. I find it best to use a lot of force and keep the drill speed low. According to our research, you want to see a steady stream of masonry dust, of brick dust coming out, and then you know you're doing it right. Don't overdo it. You'll likely screw up the bit and it just doesn't work as well. So try a lot of force and kind of a low revolution. Like so. Beautiful. That was taking me 10 minutes with a crappy drill and a crappy drill bit. This takes 30 seconds, so do it this way. Do it the right way. So we've got our 6 holes bored into the brick. There's dust everywhere from this. And what we want to prevent is the brick from bleeding, right? So since I don't have my air compressor hose yet, I'm using my handy, sports pump for soccer balls. I just want to get the dust out of these holes, right? So, giving it a few of these. Otherwise, when it first rains, you might find your new shutters bleeding all over your white house. So. I really should be wearing a mask or something, because breathing in this crappy brick dust is terrible. So get a mask, wear it, pretend you're in Beijing, because, oh yeah, there's lots of this dust kind of everywhere. Good. And after you've got the holes blown out, take a rag and just give it a once over, get rid of any remaining brick dust or really anything here. Should be a clean surface. Alright. And last, the most satisfying part is putting the shutter on. So let's do it. So with this set of shutters, they included two types of screws to use. These metal ones and these plastic ones. And at first I was like, oh, screw the plastic ones, I'm gonna use the metal ones because, they're nicer. But I changed my mind after thinking about it a little bit more. If you use the metal ones with the brick, you're gonna need to get special anchors, which are not included here. Seems like more work. And when I took a closer look at these plastic ones, I realized they're not actually screws, they have these little plastic wings all along the siding of it. And when you hammer these in or mallet these in to the brick, they really grab on nicely. It's simple. We'll see in a little bit when we actually secure it to the brick, but I've gone with this for the project and I'm very happy with it. Got this rubber mallet, which is perfect for these plastic screw-like things.
Oh, wow, look at that. That looks great.
Thanks, Mom.
That looks great.
I'd be concerned if I had a real hammer that I'd break this plastic screw, so rubber mallet is key for this. So let's get it up. You did everything right. This should not be a problem. Just gonna go in by hand at first, not too strong, just to get it in place. All right. If you did everything right, it should line up like this. And then you get to secure in. I like to put them in almost all the way. These plastic screws really have a way of gripping inside nicely. All right. Once you have them all just about there, you give them one last secure, not too tight. You don't want it to dimple. You want to get it nice and flush. And there you have it. Exterior shutters in brick.
Tell me when to cut.
You can cut.